Richard McKinney spent 25 years in the US Marines, carrying a deep-seated hatred of Muslims from his time in Iraq and Afghanistan. The horrors he witnessed and the friends he lost left him deeply scarred. After being blown from a building in Iraq, Mac was left uncertain about his future. Civilian life offered no peace. Anger against Muslims brewed inside him. Seeing women in hijabs in stores upset him deeply. The thought of Muslim children sitting next to his daughter in school filled him with rage. He saw Muslims as the enemy and planned to bomb his local mosque. One afternoon in 2009, Mac visited the Islamic center of Muncie, intending to scout his target and find evidence to justify his beliefs. He blamed the religion for the violence he had experienced. Mac parked his truck a block away. He approached the mosque with caution. Jomo Williams, an African-American member at the Islamic Center, was one of the first to spot McKinney and noticed something strange about Mac's anger. Jomo's great-great-grandfather was lynched and castrated by a white mob. He carried a hostility toward white people until he converted to Islam. Jomo didn't find Mac acting normal, pacing back and forth. In his interview, Mac mentioned that on that day he would eye a particular person in the mosque, thinking in mind, he is dead soon, he is dead, and he is also dead. Soon after, standing before him was an elderly man who welcomed Mac as a guest in his gentle voice. The man introduced himself as Dr. Mohammed Saiba Barami, a family physician, native of Afghanistan and co-founder of the Islamic Center. Mac stammered, caught off guard by the man's kindness. He explained to Mac that the mosque doors were always open, a welcoming place for all. He invited Mac inside, offering him food and a place to rest. And so, against his better judgment, he followed Dr. Saiba into the mosque. The warmth inside the mosque enveloped Mac like a comforting embrace. Later on, he kept coming and visiting the mosque. He sat with the Muslim community, sharing a simple meal of bread and soup. They talked not about religion or politics, but about life, about loss, about the things that bind us as humans. Dr. Saiba and his wife, co-founder of the mosque, Bibi, invited Mac for dinners at the Barami home and welcomed in a way he never expected. Over the following weeks, Mac returned to the mosque again and again. He listened to their stories, learned about their faith, and began to understand the true meaning of Islam. After 8 weeks of constant visits, one evening, surrounded by the very people he once considered enemies, Mac recited the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. After the ceremony, he was greeted with what he called a mosh pit of hugs from the people he once intended to harm. Eventually, he even served 2 years as president of the Islamic Center in Muncie. Mac shared in his interview while he was planning the explosion, "By the end of the night, I figured they would have me in the basement with a sword to my throat." Instead, he found compassion. Today, McKinney is trying to return the kindness that was extended to him. He earned a bachelor's degree in social work with a minor in peace and conflict resolution, and now travels the country to speak about his experiences. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.